Hey guys, what's up? So E3 2015 is just around the corner. It's going to happen from the 16th to the 18th of June in Los Angeles. And this year looks to be a very exciting one because there are quite a lot of firsts this year. Square Enix and Bethesda will have their own press conference for the very first time, and I'm very, very much looking forward to that. Not only to those, but to the press conferences in general. To be honest, for me personally, it's kind of a weird love-hate relationship because I really look forward to all the press conferences, the new announcements every year. But then when I actually watch them, I'm just getting really upset because it's so much marketing bullshit and PR shit, and every game is the best game ever, and all games are just sold with way too high expectations. But despite all this kind of love-hate stuff, I still really look forward to it. And it might actually be that this year we're going to see 7 press conferences. One by Microsoft, by Sony, by EA, Ubisoft. Like I said, Square Enix, Bethesda, and maybe Nintendo. It's always been a big maybe with Nintendo in recent years. Quite often they just don't do any press conference. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one of these publishers or companies and then break down what we can expect to see from them at their press conference, or what I expect. So a lot of speculation is in this. Some of the games have been confirmed, others not. So starting with Square Enix, they're going to have their press conference on June 16th at 9 AM Standard Pacific Time. That means it's 5 PM British Standard Time. And I think to top the list for them, we're going to see, and I made a special video about this in the past, I'll link that down in the description, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. We will probably see a little bit of gameplay, at least I hope so. Maybe we'll get a release date, which would be amazing. I hope this game to come out this year and not 2016, but let's see. I think Final Fantasy 15 will be a big hero piece in their press conference. Just Cause 3, we will probably see some gameplay. The Rise of the Tomb Raider will probably get some time in their conference. And maybe, and this is like the first big speculation, we will see a new Hitman game. I'm a big fan of the franchise and I would love to see a new Hitman game. I was a little bit disappointed in the last game, Hitman Absolution. I just didn't feel it was as good as the previous one, especially Blood Money is actually one of my favorite ones. I really enjoyed that. So hopefully we will see a new Hitman game or some kind of teaser that just announces that this game is coming our way. And then there are a few other Japanese games that Square Enix will probably show off, like Star Ocean 5, which is a JRPG, and probably Final Fantasy 15 as well. I think we're going to see some new gameplay, we're going to see some new scenarios, some new maps that will be revealed. And that's pretty much all I can say to Square Enix. They might have a new IP that we just don't know about at this point. But it brings me straight to the next company, which is Bethesda. Bethesda is going to hold their press conference on June 14th at 7 PM Pacific Time. That means it's 3 AM British Standard Time, which really sucks because I really want to watch that. And 3 AM, I doubt that I'll be able to make that. The big hero piece, and we've been waiting for it for several years. We already speculated on it last year, but it is obviously Fallout 4. And to be honest, looking at Bethesda having their own press conference this year, they wouldn't do that if they wouldn't have some big stories to tell or some big announcements to make. So I think Fallout 4 at this year finally becomes a real possibility. There have been a few leaks in the past where this, I don't know if you remember, this voice actor announced on his Twitter account that he is working on Fallout 4, but nobody knows if it's true. It was all a bit speculative. The director of Fallout New Vegas, Josh Sawyer from Obsidian, also spoke in an interview with IGN about the possibility of a Fallout MMO. So there are all these rumors floating around, and I think in combination with their own press conference this year, it is gonna happen. We will see some kind of teaser or first information reveal about Fallout 4, which is great news. I think everyone can get excited about that. A new Elder Scrolls title, I think, is unlikely. Elder Scrolls Online is just in the process of hitting the consoles, and Skyrim was only 4 years ago. So I think in terms of Elder Scrolls, the only thing that we might see is a Skyrim remastered version for next gen. It just would completely make sense. I would imagine they want to sell more of that game. It is a fantastic game, and to kind of create a remastered version is not such a big deal. I think the high-res textures are available, and you just have to pump it up a bit, optimize it for PS4 and Xbox One, and pump it out there, and it's going to generate them another bunch of money. So I think there's quite a possibility we're going to see the Skyrim remastered edition. People speculate about Dishonored 2, which would be great because I thought Dishonored 1 was a fantastic game. It came out in 2012, so now 2015, 3 years later. I don't think we're going to see Dishonored 2 coming out this year, but we might get the announcement at this year's E3. I really hope to get more infos on Doom. You probably remember they showed some kind of gameplay trailer, I think, at this year's QuakeCon. And they managed that nothing leaked out, which is great. But I think they have all the trailers ready and they have stuff to show. So why not show it at this year's E3? And it's also something that a lot of people, including me, are very excited about. And then there are rumors about a new IP coming from Bethesda. And obviously I can't speculate at all what that would be. But I think that Bethesda has proven in the past that most of the games they work on are excellent. So a new IP would definitely be something that I'm looking forward to. And I can't wait to see what they are holding back. Jumping to the next company that will hold a press conference, and that would be Ubisoft. There's no time known as of right now when this press conference is going to happen, but in terms of the games they're going to show, there are a few obvious candidates. I think we're definitely going to see Assassin's Creed Victory. Maybe we're going to see another Assassin's Creed for the last gen consoles, kind of like they did it last year. I'm not sure about it, and there's nothing known yet. Personally, I don't think it's going to happen, but there's always a small possibility. I think we're going to see the Tom Clancy's The Division, like every year, and people are waiting and hope for the game to finally come out. I mean, they've already shown so much, right? Like every year we get some gameplay trailer and it looks great, but it's just never anything concrete, and I think people don't want to see trailers anymore. We just finally want to get our hands on The Division. We're probably going to see Rainbow Six Siege from Ubisoft, which is a game that I'm looking forward to. I don't know if you saw this leaked footage that came out, I think about a month ago, where someone was participating in the beta and he just recorded his gameplay and showed it. And it looked really, really good. It looks like a great co-op shooter, basically with a nice permadeath mechanic where you have 4 people on each side or whatever, and if you're dead, you're actually dead. You can only spectate, a little bit like Counter-Strike. So it looked really, really good, and I could imagine that Rainbow Six Siege is actually one of the heroes of this year's Ubisoft press conference. We might get an announcement of Watch Dogs 2. I personally have not given up hope on that franchise yet, while the first game wasn't really good. It could be a little bit like with Assassin's Creed. If you remember, the first Assassin's Creed was a bit unfinished and the idea was there and they had a great world, but it just wasn't a really good game. But then Assassin's Creed 2 blew everything away, and it was an absolutely amazing game. Until this day, I still think it is probably the best game in the franchise. So maybe we'll see a similar development with Watch Dogs 2, where the second part is just so much better than the first one. Maybe we're going to see an announcement of return of famous franchises like The Prince of Persia or Splinter Cell. I think it's time for a new Rayman game. I haven't even finished the previous one, but I really love the Rayman games, so that's probably something that we can expect. And then I'm pretty sure they're going to show another one of these awkward stage demos of Just Dance 2016 or whatever it is, where like some people come out and possibly some semi-celebrity singer like Usher, right? And he does some kind of dance performance and tries to sell you Just Dance 2016. If you're into that kind of stuff, great. For me, it's just weird. And in terms of Ubisoft, that kind of leaves me a little bit puzzled, because there's a lot of speculation going on. But besides Assassin's Creed Victory, The Division, Rainbow Six Siege, there's not much that's actually concrete. So does that mean we might see a new IP coming our way from Ubisoft? Maybe. We will see. The whole thing obviously is TBC and just speculation on my side. Takes me straight to EA. Obviously, EA is going to announce all their next generation sports titles: FIFA 16, Madden 16, NBA Live 16, the next PGA Tour game, NHL 16. So all those are most probably going to happen. Personally, don't care that much about them. There will definitely be a reveal of Star Wars Battlefront gameplay. It's an absolute must. I made a video about it in the past. Just my previous video was all about that. People are so disappointed what they already revealed about this game that they now really have to make up for it and show us just a fucking amazing gameplay reveal. We want to see that it's a good game, and they have to show it to us. And this reveal is basically going to decide whether this game is going to stand or fall. It's an absolute absolute must. We can also expect, I think, a public multiplayer beta. They've done it with Battlefield 4, and it just really would make sense also a little bit in terms of fan service and coming towards the fans of Star Wars Battlefront and just give them a chance to get their hands on the game before it actually comes out. So forgetting all the misery that is Star Wars Battlefront at the moment, there still is Visceral's Star Wars game, which at the moment is called Star Wars Rogue One. There's not much known about it except that Uncharted director Amy Hennig is behind it, and this really gives me hope. Obviously, Battlefront is going to be a multiplayer game. Star Wars Rogue One is probably going to be a single-player game, but nonetheless, having the director of the Uncharted games behind it is probably going to make it an amazing Star Wars single-player experience. So I really look forward to get more information about Star Wars Rogue One. There will probably be a reveal of some kind of Battlefield Hardline DLC. We'll probably get more information on Mass Effect 4. I mean, considering that just a few weeks ago a lot of content leaked. Again, there's a video on my channel about that. I'll link that down in the description as well. So I don't know whether we're going to see Mass Effect 4 gameplay. Somehow I doubt it, but I think we're going to see some kind of in-game engine render trailer that just maybe reveals the new alien race or gives us a bit of a moody setting of this new galaxy that they're exploring, if all the leak is true. But I think we will definitely see something on Mass Effect 4. Mirror's Edge 2, we've seen it in the last 2 years press conferences already, and both of them were like really bad teasers. I think at this year we will probably finally see some gameplay. I mean, it's about time. They've been working on it for such a long time. I think we can expect to see some gameplay on that. Need for Speed is a brand that I think we can expect to come back at this year's E3. It has been on a much needed break, but I think now EA kind of sees the potential to bring it back, and I'm sure they've been working behind closed doors on a new Need for Speed game. Besides that, Criterion said in an interview that they are also working on a new IP which features a huge range of vehicles. So it might actually be that we're not seeing a Need for Speed game, but only the new Criterion game, or both. The whole thing is TBC. And then my personal hero in this year's EA conference would be, and I really hope to see it, Titanfall 2. I know that Titanfall didn't really go down that well, and it kind of disappeared way too quick off many people's radar. I'm still playing it. I think it's a great game. Now I'm a little bit bored of the maps, but at the same time I'm not willing to spend a lot of money on these DLCs. So Titanfall 2 is a game that I'm really looking forward to. I really want to see how Respawn managed to elevate this, in my opinion, fantastic concept that they had, which was much stronger than any of the recent Call of Duty games, and elevate that onto a new level and create like a proper predecessor of this game. So Titanfall 2 hopefully going to be announced at EA's press conference at E3 2015. Coming to Sony, and also there is no time known when this press conference is going to happen, but they have a lot to talk about. They have Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, they have God of War 3, the remastered edition, which is already coming in July, so I think they're just going to show proper gameplay and get really people mouth-watering about this game, about the remastered version of this game. They're going to talk about Project Morpheus, and that's a big one, right? Because same as Oculus Rift and Project Morpheus, all we've seen so far are like some kind of demos, right? Something that demos the device. And while they are probably really impressive, I think people really want to see games now. And it's time that Sony, I mean, since Morpheus is not just some kind of accessory that you put on and explore a demo, they have to package games around this device. And I think at this year's E3, they have to show that they have ideas to do that and that they have concepts to do that and demo how that will work. Killzone creators Guerrilla Games are expected to reveal their new IP. It's called Horizon. That's a working title, I assume, at the moment. That there is a little bit of leaked concept art. I'm going to put that in right here. Take a look at that. It looks pretty epic. Somehow like a mix between some kind of prehistoric sci-fi thing. It's quite cool, I think. Big dinosaurs with, you know, some kind of machines attached to them and fighting people that shoot with bows and shit. So that's pretty cool. So probably Guerrilla Games are going to show a little bit of their new IP. We're hopefully going to see some more content of No Man's Sky. which is a very ambitious project. I think if they can make all their promises actually happen, then it will be an extraordinary piece of work. I love the art style. It always looked fantastic. And every time they show just the smallest demo of that game, people freak out and everyone is super excited about it. So a lot of fans are waiting for it. No Man's Sky probably going to get a little bit more info and hopefully a bit more concrete at this year's E3. Street Fighter V is an obvious choice. I think that's already confirmed that we're going to see that. Final Fantasy 15 definitely on stage on PS4. Tearaway Unfolded will probably get some stage time. Until Dawn, Ratchet and Clank, we can expect something new to see. I think Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain is a safe bet. The new Quantic Dream game, after Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, I really want to see what these guys are up to, and especially for the next generation of consoles, I think they're really going to push it to the limit and hopefully catch up with the amazingness that was Heavy Rain. Bloodborne is probably going to get a DLC. Maybe we get Gran Turismo 5 to be announced. It's a big TBC behind this, but I think people would love that. And even if we get it announced at this year's E3, we're only going to play it like 2018, probably. But nonetheless, there is a small possibility for that. Hideo Kojima's Silent Hill and some work in progress on Resident Evil 7, maybe. In terms of the horror games, we might see those. GTA 5 has just come out on PC, which kind of really finishes off this project for Rockstar. So is there a possibility that we're going to see a new Rockstar project? Maybe a new Red Dead Redemption or something like that? I don't know. This is very, very big speculation right now. And then obviously the game that everyone was just disappointed about not being in any of the conferences by Sony in the last years, The Last Guardian. I still haven't given up hope. They've said they're still working on it and it's work in progress. So let's see. I'm not going to go too much into it, but let's just hope. Obviously, there are also third-party games like Batman Arkham Knight, Just Cause 3 and others, and several indie titles like Rime, The Witness, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, Tomorrow Children, Drawn to Death and Wild, and a few others. So Sony has an amazing lineup for this year's E3 and they've got just so much to show, and on top of that there might even be a new IP that we haven't heard about. So I really expect a lot from Sony's press conference. Coming to Microsoft, there is again no time known when this is going to happen. As soon as all the times for these press conferences are revealed, I will put them down in the description so you can find them there. At the moment, we just don't know, except the Bethesda and Square Enix one. So Microsoft, I think the big hero piece of their conference will obviously be Halo. It always has been, and it will be again this year. So Halo 5, Guardians will probably get some gameplay, hopefully. We don't know. There might be an announcement of a remastered version of Halo ODST and possibly Halo Reach. The Rise of the Tomb Raider is going to be a big one, and to be honest, they kind of made an idiot of themselves last year when they said it's exclusive to Xbox, and then just an hour later it turns out it's actually not, it's just time exclusive, and everyone laughed at them for that. So I think the Rise of the Tomb Raider is going to be in their conference. We'll definitely see Black Ops 3, Call of Duty, some kind of gameplay reveal. We always see that, most probably single player. I said it before, I made a video about it. I'm not at all excited about it. And it's at a point now where Call of Duty is losing its prestige a little bit. And I can't see it coming back just because of Black Ops 3. So I wonder how long they're going to keep that Xbox exclusive deal with Activision alive, where the Call of Duty games come out earlier on Xbox, because I just feel like they don't benefit that much from it anymore, and I'm sure they pay shitloads of money for that deal. Other Xbox exclusives like Crackdown 3 will probably get some details. Quantum Break from Remedy will get some stage time, which I'm really looking forward to. I think Alan Wake was a great game. I love Sam Lake. He's just an amazing guy, and everything that I've seen of Quantum Break so far looked really interesting. So I think this is going to be another big hero AAA game that we're going to get more infos on at this year's Microsoft conference. Forza Motorsport 6, Fable Legends is bound to appear. We don't know much about that, but it would link in really nicely with Microsoft Windows 10 cross-platform stuff, because the game will be playable across PC and Xbox One, and I think it's just a perfect opportunity to really demo the two. So Fable Legends might get some time on stage. Platinum's Xbox exclusive Scalebound will probably appear, and there are rumors that we might get a remake of Phantom Dust. Now, Microsoft has introduced their HoloLens a while ago, and I think this year's E3 is a perfect opportunity to kind of show how this device might work in combination with Xbox One. They haven't said specifically that they're going to do that, except that they've shown some Minecraft augmented reality application in their little teaser video. But I think if they're really up to merging these two devices, HoloLens and Xbox One, this is the time to show what their plans are. In terms of Minecraft, obviously after purchasing that brand, Microsoft is going to do what they can to make this game look really good. It will definitely get screen time during their presentation. When it comes to speculation about games like Minecraft 2, I think the chances are rather slim that we're going to see that. But there are other titles like, for instance, Telltale's Minecraft Story Mode, which I think people are quite intrigued about how that is actually going to work. What is this going to be all about? Nobody really knows. So I think we're going to see stuff like that, maybe some new additions to the existing Minecraft. We don't know, but Minecraft will definitely be in there. Rumors have it that we also might see a remaster of the Gears of War trilogy for Xbox One. I think that would make complete sense because these games already look great, and if you would remaster them and just pump up the textures and give it a little bit more gloss, they could resell it again and make shitloads of money. So it's another perfect opportunity to just milk a brand and make more money out of something that already exists. And then on the indie side of things, we're probably going to see a few games like Cuphead and Inside. So there are a few indie games lined up, obviously not as much as on Sony's side. And then the only company that we haven't talked about is Nintendo, and I'm kind of having a hard time speculating about what they're going to show because there's not even anything known whether they're going to have a press conference. They would have a lot to show, right? They're working on games like Mario Maker, Yoshi's Woolly World. The Legend of Zelda will not be at E3 2015. Nintendo has already announced that, which doesn't mean that they're going to have a press conference. It only means that it will not be on the floor because at E3 they will definitely have some kind of booth where they show their games, and The Legend of Zelda on Wii U will not be there, which is a shame. I think a lot of people are really waiting for that. Star Fox might make an appearance. There will be DLCs announced for like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. I think all this is kind of obvious. It does make sense. Xenoblade Chronicles X, Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire Emblem, maybe a Pokemon Z. We don't know. There is a lot they could show. They could talk about the amiibos, right? There's a lot of content for Nintendo, so I think it would make sense to have their own press conference, but we do know from the past years that Nintendo prefers to hold their own little press conferences and announce their games there in their private little streams, like straight from their headquarters. So the whole press conference from Nintendo is a big TBC. We don't know. I hope we're going to see them because I always think the more press conferences, the better. I just love them. I just love all the excitement that builds up around E3. I'm majorly excited about it. Guys, what do you feel? Did I miss any games? I mean, there are so many. I'm sure I missed loads of them. So what is your most anticipated game of this year's E3? What do you really want to see? I think mine is probably Fallout, like many other people as well. I would love to see what they do with that. But leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video or if you learned something new, then just leave me a like. That would be much appreciated. You can subscribe to my channel for more. Otherwise, stay tuned, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.